I've said this before, but this truly is the football season that will not die for the Philadelphia Eagles. There is actually still a chance they make the playoffs. There's an opportunity for them to go out and steal the second wild card behind the Seattle Seahawks. And I'm sorry, but I just don't feel it. I'm not getting emotionally invested into this one. The scenario is there. It's a possibility, but we're asking this football team to do something that they have never done yet this season, and that is win 3 games in a row. 3 games in a row when you're talking about going into LA and beating a Rams team that's right, just came off of a big-time loss against Chicago. Then you need to face Houston at home, which their defense is elite, and our offense is really not. And then we got to play the Washington Redskins. To ask this team to win 3 games in a row after what we have seen through 13 games, I'm sorry, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. We also need to battle it out with the Vikings and the Panthers for this spot. The Vikings are going through struggles internally, firing their offensive coordinator, and the Panthers are just losing consistently week after week after week. Now, when you look at the Panthers and their schedule, they play the Saints 2 more times and the Falcons. So that's a tough road ahead. Not that ours isn't. Ours is definitely. I think the Vikings have an easier out. They play the Dolphins, the Lions, and they finish with the Bears. But who knows where the Bears are going to be in the last week of the season. If they can't get higher up in the standings for playoff spots, they might not even really need the game. You kind of have to play it out and see. But I just can't imagine it actually happening. There's a chance if we go 8-8, so we don't win out. We win 2 of 3 at 8-8. There is still a possibility. So say we either beat the Rams or Houston, right? And we're sitting there at, what would we be at that? We would be 7-8 with the Redskins left on the table. We would need the Vikings to lose 2 games, the Panthers to lose 2 games, Green Bay to lose, the Buccaneers to lose, and we need to beat the Redskins. The possibilities are there, and it's ridiculous. It's giving my heart this false chance. After what I have seen and what this team has put me through, from start to where we are now, I can't look at this and say I have a great feeling this is going to happen. After the most emotional loss of the season, are we going to go out to LA and beat them when they're coming off of a loss? I mean, I don't know. Maybe. But to ask this team to win 3 straight games, it's hard for me to do. You want to hear something terrible? Imagine this. Imagine 2 wins in a row against the Rams and Houston at home, and we lose to the Redskins on the last week of the season. Would that not be this season in a nutshell for us fans? Of course I want them to make the playoffs. I want this scenarios, either one of these. I don't care which one. I want them to work out in our favor. I'm not a tank, get a better draft pick guy. That doesn't work in football. That's not a football thing. These guys are warriors. They have too much pride. They're not going to lose on purpose for a better draft pick. They're going to go out there and win. Derek Carr said it this season. You fans can hate me all you want. I'm going out there and I'm going to go out and play to win, which is how it works in this league. There's value in making the playoffs, even though we're going to get smacked and there's no playoff run and Super Bowl run, and I know that. But there's value in Carson Wentz experiencing a playoff game. And that's what it would mean for me if this team was to sneak in at 9-7 or 8-8. I want to see Carson Wentz go out there and experience the crowd, the noise, just the vibe of it. There's value in a young quarterback doing that. The team this year, it's crazy. It's crazy that we thought the NFC was going to be the stacked powerhouse, and 8-8 has a chance to win the wild card. What's even crazier is the Eagles potentially might not be one of those teams with only 8 wins needed. How 1 year can really change. It's wild. There is a psyche involved, though. You can look at the numbers of teams that make it to the Super Bowl who don't the next year and win the Super Bowl and don't the next year. There is consistent teams that this happens to. It's kind of like you can't escape it. There is some sort of reason where when you win the Super Bowl, besides the Patriots and the Seahawks that 1 year, on why you don't get back. There is a reasoning behind it. Whether it's mental, physical, it's wild. It's crazy. And it's all psyche stuff. Let me know what you think down below on, do you agree that we're going to make the playoffs? Do you think it's too much? Are we asking too much for a team that hasn't shown us it's possible to win 3 games in a row? 8-8? Can you imagine? Let me know your thoughts down below.